Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome from Barcelona. Um, I think we should still wait for a minute or so while there are other candidates joining. In any case, thank you for joining at this time of the day. This Q&A session that we've organized specifically for candidates, MSc candidates that are based in Switzerland. So I'm very happy that I'm going to have the support and of some of our students that I will introduce to you very shortly. We have here with us Elsa, Mario, Luisa, and Chiara. Um, Thanks for joining the session, and I think our candidates are all very excited also to hear more about your experience at Esade. So it's 7 o'clock. I suggest we start. So what I would like to do is first of all give you a brief. I will try to be as brief as possible. Um, Introduction, right, about Esade, about our programs, and then I would like to open the microphone to all of you and take advantage that we have some of our students and alumni here with us tonight to ask all your questions that you might have regarding our programs and then also Esade. So if you want also in the meantime, if you have questions, you can already put them in the chat, but just for you to know that afterwards, I'm going to invite all of you to switch on your cameras and have like an interactive talk with you. All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen. With you. Right. Okay, I think you can all see my screen, right? Well, so first of all, I would like to tell you a bit more about Esade. For those of you that are not familiar with the school, that just found out about us, let me tell you a bit about how Esade is structured first of all. So we have 3 units at Esade, which are the business school, the law school, and then executive education. So our master programs, our full-time MBA and our executive MBA are part of the business school. Esade, as you can see here, has a triple accreditation. So in case you're interested in what exactly to find out more about that, how we are accredited, then I would like to invite you to have a look at those accreditations. Then every year we have we have more than 10,000 students on campus. And more than 125 nationalities. So we have a very large diversity with us on campus. Besides that, we work together with more than 40 partner schools. So depending on the program, like for example, for the MSc program, it's going to be for the study tours that we're going to be collaborating with about 13, 14 partner schools where the study tours will take place. For the MBA program, it's going to be exchange programs. For the executive MBA, it's going to be elective programs and so on. Now, rankings, I'm sure that all of you have checked some rankings, and this is just a couple of them, where you can see that our international management program was ranked 8 worldwide, is ranked the 8 worldwide in the Financial Times. Then our Master in Business Analytics has been ranked first and at a Universal Innovation Entrepreneurship, the 3rd, and then also our marketing program 7th, following the QS rankings. Now, what's important to know about Esade? I think first of all, one of our main values being collaborative team spirit. And this you will notice as soon as you come on campus, as soon as you attend your first class, and even before. Well, this session is one of the examples, having our students collaborating and being available for candidates to share their experience. So you will also see that once you start a program that a large number of your grades will depend on group work. Then our programs, and that's all our programs, are very practical. So that means that you will have a lot of opportunities to put in practice what you're going to be learning through internships, specific challenges, competitions, in-company projects, and so on. And then I think this is also, I would say, one of the main highlights of the programs that we offer is the customization. So if we now focus on the master programs, you will see that if you come to the last term, you will be able to customize a program, choosing electives that will help you in your future professional path. And then also there are different clubs that you can join. The study tours that I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about, and then specific tracks. So there are some programs where you can further customize choosing specific tracks. Our alumni network, I think that's important because at the end, you're going to be part of that. You're going to receive the support, whether you're looking for a job in another country, whether you want to do business with specific countries, or when you're traveling and you want to connect with a network that we have worldwide. So we have 74 international chapters, and those are official chapters. So that means a board with board members with a budget. So those are the chapters that are going to be organizing the big events locally, right, in person. That doesn't mean that, for example, when I'm going to Nigeria next month, I will be organizing, for example, an alumni panel where I'm going to be inviting candidates to meet with alumni. So that doesn't mean that in all the other countries, we're not organizing events, right? Besides the geographical chapters, we also have interest clubs. So if you're interested in joining the marketing club or the entrepreneurship club, after you graduate, you also have those opportunities, and those clubs are organizing online events, in-person events, etc. So at this point, we have about 73,000 alumni. Now, I don't think I have to sell Barcelona to you. Everybody likes Barcelona. Everybody who comes to Barcelona falls in love with the city, including myself. I've been here for 24 years. I'm originally from Belgium. And the first thing that attracted me to Barcelona is the sunshine coming from Belgium and seeing a lot of rain and gray skies. And each time I go back to Belgium, it's really like, not getting used to the gray sky and being happy when I come back, when I'm back in Barcelona. Besides that, the leisure that you will find, of course, the sports options. We also have, business-wise, a lot of startups that are more and more that are settling down in Barcelona. Barcelona is also a big tech hub, and we have a large pool of tech talent present in the city, which of course also attracts even more companies to come to Barcelona. And then regarding, going a little bit deeper about telling a little bit more about the programs, you might have seen that we are currently offering 6 programs, which are business analytics, finance, innovation, entrepreneurship, international management, marketing, and then sustainability, which is our latest program that we launched, I would say 2 years ago. We have currently the second cohort that is doing this program. Now, the structure, very briefly, you will see that all our programs have the same structure. So the programs start in September, mid-September, and is divided in 3 terms. So you have the core courses. The second term is going to be focused on specialized courses. And then in the last term, the electives, where you're going to be deciding what you're going to be studying. Before you start a program, and that really depends on your background, some of you will need to do a pre-program, which is going to be online. And our business integration part does have, I think it's about 2 weeks that we do want you to be previously on campus to do in-person sessions, but that might change from one year to the other. This said, If you want to do the finance program, you don't have a finance background, you will have to do the pre-program in finance. If you're doing business analytics, you have a data background, you will do the business integration path. If you have a business background, you will do the data science pre-program. And then for all the other programs, if you don't have business background, we will ask you to do this business integration path. Now, one more thing, which is important, is in January that all of you will have the option to do a study tour. I'm going to tell you more about that in a little while. And then you also have, all our students have the option to do an internship, which is going to be starting from the end of June and can go until graduation in October. Besides that, and that's also going to be in the last term, you're going to be working on a master project. And there again, you have the choice. You can do a thesis, you can do an in-company project. So if you're doing an internship, it's going to be interesting maybe to combine this project with your internship. And then you can also choose to do a business plan. Study tours, well, the international experience in general, we are offering study tours. You have the opportunity to study languages, optional, not mandatory. And then also the option to do a double degree, an external double degree, and then our SAMS program. And when we come to the internships, of course, the companies that are offering internships, I mean, they're worldwide. So if you want to do your internship, well, even outside of Europe, there's going to be a lot of opportunities there. Sorry. Now, a little bit more information about the study tours. So each program has its study tours, can be 2 up to 3 study tours. Those of you that, well, what I want to say is that you all have the priority to do the study tour of your program. You also have the option to do the study tour of another program. So another way to customize. It's not guaranteed that you will have a seat. For example, now our international management program, one of the study tours they do is to Cape Town University, and it has received a lot of interest. So I saw the list, and the program is currently completely filled with international management students that, of course, have priority. But I know that in previous years, we had students from all other programs attending specifically this study tour. So study tours all around the world. We have UCLA, we have Bocconi, we have KUBS, Korea, we have Singapore, Rotman School in Canada, Cape Town University, St. Gallen. We have the American University, Dubai. In Spain, this is a study tour of the sustainability program. It's not with a partner. We're doing different field trips, and I think Elsa will tell us a little bit more about that because she just graduated from the program. We have Georgetown University, we have Japan and UCB, and then India and the US, the Silicon Valley experience is the study tour of the entrepreneurship program. Again, different options to do a second year. One of them is a SAMS program. SAMS program, you might have heard about that. We are currently 34 schools, Esade being the only school in Spain that is part of the SAMS organization, which are offering the option to do the SAMS program, which is a second year where you will be 1 term in Barcelona, 1 term in one of the partner schools, and then in the last term you will do an internship. Now, you can also do a double degree, 2 options there, the internal double degree at Esade, where you can do one of the other programs you're offering, or you can also opt for a double degree in one of our partner schools, which you see here that are announced on this screen. Now, this is the class profile of the current, class of all the programs we are offering. So every year we have about 570, 580 students. Currently, we have 72 different nationalities on campus, 91% international students. So this is really important. We really want to make sure that we have this diversity nationality-wise on campus. So you won't see a too high representation of Spanish in class. So in this case, this year it's 9%. Then we also have a 41% of female participants. That, of course, also depends on one program to the other. Marketing, we have more females than, for example, in finance, where we have a lower amount, but we're working on that to have more female students in our finance program. And then you can also see the academic background, majority coming from business and management. And then you will see also here that the highest representation of our students is still European, but we also have, of course, a good representation from other continents. Now, the application process, I'm going to be very short here. We work on a rolling base. So you will see that there are the application rounds announced on the website, but we have an admissions committee every week. So as soon as you're ready with your application, we will do the admissions interview, and then we will go to the committee. So we have a weekly committee every Thursday. That means that if this week you go into the committee, by Monday at the latest, you will receive a decision. So there again, we ask you to do an online application, to upload the required documents, to do your admissions test, to pay the application fee. And then as soon as we have, as your application is complete, including the test, there will be a personal interview, which will be with me, which can be online or in person during one of my travels to Switzerland. And then, of course, we go to the committee. You receive your communication with a deadline, the payment plan, for you to enroll in the program. I want to tell you a bit more about careers, because a lot of your time is also going to be concentrated on career activities and working on your future job search, including also your internship, of course. So our career team is a team of more than 30 people now. They are specialized in sectors. So we have a team focusing on the financial sector, on consulting, on tech, on healthcare, international organizations. And then also we have also some career leads that are specifically concentrating on social impact jobs in all those sectors. For those of you that want to give this social impact touch to their career. So a lot of activities they organize from the very beginning. So we have the career weeks, of course, but then also they're going to be organizing several sessions on career development, inviting companies to come to campus to talk about their sector, what kind of profiles they're looking for, what are the skills that will be needed. And then together with the career team, you can work in workshops on developing specific skills for specific jobs and in specific sectors, right? They're going to be working also helping you with mock interviews, preparing your CV, introducing you to different tools, online tools that you can take advantage of. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to interact with companies, and of course doing then your interviews for your internship and for your placement afterwards. Some of the companies that are recruiting different sectors, as you can see, and here also wanted to also share with you that we have a really good placement thanks to the professional approach and network connections from our career team. So we have 93% of our graduates that get a job 3 months after graduation. Of course, there's always some graduates that just want to take a break, they want to wait for a couple of months and so on. But I mean, taking all this in consideration, we have a really quite high placement afterwards. You will also see the salary overview. This is 3 years after graduation for our master program in finance and then international management. Now, the most important part. I would like to introduce you to our alumni, 2 of our alumni, and then also current students. So first of all, we have here with us Mario Beer, who did MSc in finance and is currently working as a consultant at Simon Kucher. Then we also have Elsa Levan. She graduated last week from the Master in Sustainability. And I think she is about, or she has already started the SAMS program. So also it will be interesting also to have her feedback. I'm not sure where she is, what partner school she is right now, but we're gonna hear all about that. And then we have Chiaro Lisetto, who is doing the Master in Innovation and Entrepreneurship. She started in September together with Luisa, who is currently doing the Master in International Management. So both Chiara and Luisa will be doing the SEMS program next year. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and then I would like, well, all of you to switch on your camera. Well, first of all, I would like to ask our students and alumni to briefly introduce themselves. So I already did some introduction, but maybe hearing from you, like, what was your academic background before you started the master? Where did you do your bachelor degree? And then, yeah, let's start with that. So I don't know, maybe Mario, do you want to start?
Yeah, happy to kick it off.
Okay,
Hey
welcome,
guys.
Mario. Thanks, and thanks for joining us.
No, of course. Sorry, I was a bit late. I came straight from work, but yeah. I'm
No worries.
Mario. I'm from Zurich originally. I've also studied there in my bachelor's, did finance already there, and then also did the master in finance at Esade. I would say I was very active at Esade also with student clubs. I was the president of Start Barcelona. Not sure if you guys know it, but it's a startup club. Since Ursi's already mentioned it, startups were quite a big thing in Barcelona, so it's quite nice for that as well. Yeah, then I went to London, worked in a smaller consultancy that is focused on private equity. Now I've switched to Simon Kucher in Vienna. And yeah, happy to answer any questions about finance program, also about other programs. I had flatmates from business analytics and entrepreneurship. So yeah, excited to answer some questions.
Thank you, Mario. Elsa.
So hello, I'm currently doing the SEMS program in Barcelona. So my whole school will be NHH, so it's in Bergen in Norway. I'm from Switzerland, from the French part, close to Geneva. And I did the master in sustainability last year. So as mentioned, it was the first cohort, and now we're launching the second one. So if you have any questions regarding that program, the SEMS, or even as Mario, other programs, my roommates as well are doing innovation, entrepreneurship, and finance, so I can answer questions.
Thank you, Elsa. Chiara.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
welcome.
Thank you so much. So, as Orsi already mentioned, I'm currently studying at Esade. I just started in September in innovation entrepreneurship. I'm also going to do the SEMS, but only next year. So it's, as Orsi mentioned, like a double degree, but with SEMS. So you go abroad for 1 semester. And before that, I did my bachelor's in Switzerland at ZHB School of Management and Law. I did international management, where I was also abroad for 1 year. And then, yeah, because of this, I decided I want to do my master's abroad as well. And obviously, I decided I wanted to have good weather as well. So Barcelona is like the best choice. And now I'm here, and yeah, I really enjoy it. So if you have any questions regarding innovation entrepreneurship, also SEMS, feel free to reach out or like ask now.
Thank you, Elsa. Then we have Luisa. Hi, Luisa.
Hi, a bit about me. I'm not from Switzerland. I'm Armenian, but I studied in Russia. I don't have a business background, so I did VAP in August, which was like, I think the funniest experience by far at Esade. So like if anyone gonna do it, like you're gonna have a great time before everyone else is coming to campus. So you have a great opportunity to meet a lot of new people, to make friends before like the actual start of master. And yes, I just started my master in international management about 2 months ago, and I really enjoy it. It's very intense, but I like my experience by far. I can share my experience about SEMS since I'm just going to do it like next year, but I can answer questions about my program about international management.
Thank you, Luisa. So now I'm really curious, and I'm sure that candidates also would like to know, like, I mean, all of you will have considered other schools. So why did you choose Esade? and not one of the other schools that were on your list. Maybe Luisa, I still see you on the screen as a, maybe you can continue, and then yeah. Why did you choose Esade, and why not another school in the country or in your home country?
So actually, today I met Carmen. She's from Switzerland. We have some coffee chat together. And why I chose Esade was actually because I had my campus tour as well before, when I got a few offers from other schools, and I wasn't sure like what should I choose, because like all options were great. So I decided to come to campus and like meet people, to understand, like just to see the atmosphere, like how is everything going. And I think like campus tour, when I came to campus, I fell in love with campus, actually with Barcelona as well. So I made like, I also went to other campuses like of school I got into, but when I came to Esade, it was like, no, it was a really easy decision for me. Not only because of I don't know, rankings and other things. It's just like I felt I need to be here, and I mean, you just I think when you really can't decide between schools, you just need to go where your heart feeling better, where it's going to be your place. So just like if you really can decide, just like listen your heart. That's my advice. That's what I did when I was choosing between schools, and I don't regret about it by far.
Thank you, Luisa. So yeah, I really, by the way, I recommend all of you, if you have the time, to come to Barcelona, to visit the campus, to sit in class, because we can easily organize a sit-in class for you. Of course, we need to know a little bit in advance to make sure that, the professor agrees, right? And so, yeah, I really recommend that, because it's a unique experience to be in class, to participate and see how the interaction is going in class, right? How our students are collaborating and so on. So, yeah, Chiara, why did you choose Esade?
So it's actually quite easy, quite straightforward. I didn't do the GMAT, so there weren't a lot of options for universities or like schools in general. One option was Nova. And obviously, like, I love Spain, I love Barcelona. I wanted to study here so badly, but I thought you can only do it with a GMAT. But then I found out that you can also do the Esade internal test. And then like I started with the Nova application, but I stopped immediately, and then I just did the Esade one, and yeah, that's quite easy just because of that. I didn't have the GMAT. So if you don't have it, don't worry. Like you can also do the internal test, which is was quite good.
Yeah. And you do have a little bit of Nova at Esade, because our new general manager was dean at Nova. I don't know if you knew that. If you know
No,
that.
I didn't.
He was previously working at Nova, so he's our new general manager since September. Yeah.
The biggest competitors, actually.
Yeah. And we really like him. He's very revolutionary. He's very happy to bring change. So there's going to be quite some interesting times coming. So we're very happy with that.
Nice.
All right, Elsa, why did you choose Esade?
For me, I was in the application process. I started quite early onwards, I think around January, February, and I was as well working for the GMATs. And then I realized Esade did not really require GMAT, so it was kind of on the same basis. But further than that, I had contact with, previously was Judith, who was in charge of the Switzerland region. And I really had a great feeling, and I got in touch with alumni as well, and I just really enjoyed the Esade atmosphere, and I think it was really unique, and it was more than just academics, it's the people that you meet. So that was really, I just felt like that was the right choice, so I went with it, and I really do not regret it. It's gonna be it's a great decision.
Thank you, Elsa. Mario.
I seem to be the only one that went the full distance and also did the GMAT. But yeah, no, because I actually thought about other schools as well. I applied at LBS in London as well. Would have had that, as I was kind of deciding between these two because they were both offers. For me, if you decide for a master program, it's really multiple factors should play a role. And I think at the end of the day, education is only one of them. Because I think doing a master in finance, what you get out of it is similar from different schools. So for me, it was like, I need to consider other things as well. So for example, social aspects, diversity was a big thing. If you study in Zurich, you get all the Swiss people, which don't get me wrong, are nice, but you want some change if you study. And if you have the chance to do it abroad, I was like, I definitely need to take it. In hindsight, I think it was a great decision. I worked in London for a year, had a lot of colleagues that came from LBS, from LSE. What they told me is that 60 to 70% of the class are Asians, which can be cool, but if you want the diversity and the full picture, I think Esade is pretty much unmatched in this, or playing at a really top level here. And then I think it's also just the lifestyle, the food. And I think you don't live the campus life because the campus is a bit more out, but it gets as close to it as possible, I would say. So it's a very intensive life. You do a lot of stuff with your classmates. It's like 600 students. I would say I got to know 500 of them by name, know a lot of people. For example, I'm going to Budapest this weekend. I'm meeting a friend there. Obviously, I moved to Vienna. I knew like 10 people from Esade. In London, I had like 10, 20 people. I think you don't have this if you study in Switzerland, for example, Zurich for me, or HSG, which was also an option. So I think a multitude of reasons I could go on, but I think this is kind of a good overview.
Yeah, and it also reflects a little bit what I've been saying before, right? First, well, about the alumni association, as you see, okay, you're all graduated. You're, I would say, well, family and friends for life, right? So wherever you go, you can connect. You can connect with us, with fellow students that were with you in class, but then also reaching out to the alumni chapters and going to the events that are taking place locally, of course. Helps you to stay in contact, right, and continue with your network and professional opportunities. So the other thing that you mentioned, Mario, is the diversity, and I would also like to hear maybe from the others. How was it to be in class with such a diversity? Did you also meet any challenges? So I don't know who wants to go next. Maybe Elsa, who went through the entire program. So how was your experience with diversity in class?
So I think coming from the Master in Sustainability, we were a small cohort of 33 students. And I think we had the most diverse class because in other programs, maybe one nationality is superior, maybe a lot of Germans, but still very international. But Master in Sustainability was very diverse, which I really, really appreciate. So of course, in group projects, you have to coordinate different expectations coming from different schools, different backgrounds. But I think that makes you really build yourself as a professional, and that was very interesting as well. So it's a challenge, but a strength, and it was really, really insightful to learn from all the different backgrounds. And it's really, really unique because I've never been in a class that has been so international. People from Asia, people from all around the world, but yet you still manage to create bonds, I think, for life one way or another. So it was really, really a great experience.
So you said something about the class profile. So I just also wanted to highlight here. Of course, the sustainability was the first year. So the class is always smaller when we launch a program. This year we have a bigger group. I think it's almost 50. Just also for you to know that our classes are never bigger than 60. So if, for example, our international management program this year, we have about 180 students, but we divide them in 3 classes. Same for the Master in Finance, we have 2 classes of about 60. So of course, sustainability, we have 1 class. Entrepreneurship, we have 1 class, and then for the other programs, we have 2 of each. But which makes it easier for you to interact with other students, to make sure that you get to know, your peers. You're going to be able to work with them in groups. But then, of course, if we go to the electives, if we go to the study tours, if you're going to be joining the clubs, of course, you're going to be mixed with your peers from other classes of the same program, but then also from other programs, right? So which makes it quite interesting. Now, well, maybe another another topic that I also mentioned in my presentation is the way how you can customize the program. So and maybe Elsa, because you've been to the program, and Mario, maybe you can tell us a bit more about what electives you choose and how was that selection process, the study tours maybe, and then I think that's good to start with. Yeah.
You want to go first, Elsa?
You can go if you want. I can go after.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, for me, I would say I had two interests coming into the program. I was very interested in startups, and then also a bit like I did informatics in my minor, so I was quite interested in that as well and how to combine it with finance. So for my study tour, I went to the Silicon Valley. I kind of was able to trade my place with a guy that couldn't get a visa, so it was kind of a sketchy thing. But yeah, I ended up going to San Francisco, which was actually amazing, by far the best study tour. Because you talk to those entrepreneurs, some of them, I mean, Jan, he's the guy from MIE, basically program director, and he has insane connections. So you talk to some founders that were involved with, Uber or other companies somehow, and you think like, damn, this is amazing. And you see the campus there from Stanford and all of those things. So that was amazing to get into this entrepreneurship niche. And then in terms of electives, I kind of chose more like data-driven subjects, such as big data and finance or stuff with Python that I was interested in to kind of combine a bit data science and finance. But I think this kind of applies for most interests you have. If you have particular interests, you can kind of choose an elective that goes into that direction, I would say. And generally you get it. It's also a bidding process, but the most people I knew got their electives they wanted.
Yeah. And then, well, you said a study tour. So you're an example of those students that do a study tour, which is not the study tour of their program, right? And for those of you that are interested in entrepreneurship, you don't necessarily need to do the entrepreneurship program to, to work on if you have an entrepreneur idea. All our students are welcome to join our Entrepreneurship Institute, where you can also follow and do the accelerator program. So you can be participating there, attending activities, meeting companies. So yeah, I don't know if you did that, Mario, or you just focused on the study.
No, I did, yeah. It was
You
also
did,
part of the startup student club I was part of, right? So we partnered a lot with them and did some events together. Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, and Elsa, what about you? I know that sustainability, they have their study tour is taking place in Spain. It's the only study tour that is not partnering with another school. So maybe, you could tell a bit more about that if you did the study tour.
I did not participate in the sustainability study tour because I was part of the Singapore SEM study tour. So I went for a week there, but I heard a lot of good things about the Spain study tour. It was quite different than the others, as it's not related to an academic really as per se, but it's more you go to local restaurants. It's really a different experience, but I think it was very good as well. But the Singapore study tour was really fun. I've never been to Singapore, so it was an opportunity to go there for a week. NUS is a very good school, so you go to classes. It was quite a lot, maybe from 8 till 5 most of the days, and then you have time afterwards to visit the town, like the city, with you get to know other people as well, because that's kind of the first SEMS cohort getting together. So people from different masters doing SEMS choose this study tour. So I got to know a lot of them, which really helped for this semester. And it was really, really nice. And then you get to travel as well after, depending on how you arrange your intensives in January. But a really great opportunity to visit different places.
Yeah, you always have some time or before, depending on the year when it falls exactly, but and depending on the study tour, you might have, you always have some time before you start the study tour or after. So most of our students are just staying and taking advantage and discovering the city or traveling around. For example, I remember I was in Cape Town with the study tour, international management, And most of the students after the week, they rented cars and they did the garden route. So they traveled for a week or so just to discover, to discover the rest of South Africa. So, and then I remember another student that went to Singapore and afterwards took a plane to Bali and spent a week in Bali. So yeah, it's always, I mean, good that you know that you can combine with a little bit of free time. And what about your electives, Elsa? Yeah, how did you choose them?
So for the first cohort of sustainability, I think our choice was kind of restrained compared to other masters. So it was mostly sustainability electives, but I tried to focus more on the finance part of sustainability, so sustainable finance. So I took 1 or 2 electives related to that, and some of related as well to data science and sustainability. So you can kind of narrow it down, but I did not really have access to all the other electives. But that being said, I know that the MIM program has a lot of electives you can choose from depending on which master you're going to take. Even sustainability, I think this year we have more choice. So it's really great because you can explore different tracks. You want to entrepreneurship, finance more. So I think it's a great thing. And this is in the second, third term, which is great. So then you get the first term that is more related to your master, and then you can specialize a bit more in something else.
Yeah, because I mean the electives, another reason why we do it in the last term is because you've already gone through a large part of the program. You're gonna have worked with the career team, so you're also gonna have a better idea where you want to go after the master, and then based on that, choose the electives that you will take. Well, that will help you most, right, in your career. And those it is like this, that each program has electives that only students from the program can do. They have electives that are open, specific to the program, like I would say entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurship and innovation. So they have entrepreneurship electives that students from other programs can do. And then there are electives that we call general electives that are not related to any specific program. It could be soft skills seminars and so on, that of course are all open, also open to all students. So there are like I would say three types of electives. Depending on the program, there might be a minimum of electives that you need to do of your program, but then you always have the option to complement with other electives. Now, another topic that I told you a little bit about during the presentation is the careers. And I also mentioned that the career activities are starting quite early. Like, I mean, the first week when you come on campus, we have the welcome session, you will already get introduced. And I would also, like to hear about a little bit more about your experience. And maybe we can start with Luisa and Elsa to see, okay, having gone through the program, what is it, like 1 month and a half only, so far, what are the activities that you've been doing with the career team? Who wants to start? Maybe Luisa?
I get started, and again, I had a campus visit today with Carmen, and we talked about career services and like all career activities that we have. And I said, like, we have so many things I would say every week. So you really like, it's like sometimes it's like you just have so many opportunities, so you just don't know where to start. So before coming to campus, in July, you have a few online sessions with career team where like you can do your CV, you can, I think we had also a LinkedIn session. We had like a bit of introduction to our career services, because you have career services like for finance, for consulting, for global industry, depending on your interest. There is like team which is dedicated, for example, only for finance. So before arriving to campus, we had a few sessions. We had access to a bunch of different career platforms where you can improve your CV, where you can apply for jobs, where you can train for your mock consulting case interviews. I think it was last week. Yeah, last week we had a career fair for consulting and global industry, which was 2-day career fair where we had I don't know how many, I think a lot, about like 60 companies coming to campus to present themselves. You have opportunity to talk with them personally. You have opportunity to apply for coffee chats, to do one-to-one sessions. So yeah, every week you are getting email with everything which is going on campus. It could be like different networking dinner, different networking breakfast, where you can apply for a job, like with all deadlines. So I would say a lot of things are going on. And for SAMs, you have additional resources which you also can access it when you're doing SAMs. So you just double your network with SAMs if you're doing one.
Okay. And what is your experience, Chiara, so far?
So Luisa said it or summarized it really well. She covered basically all of it. I would say like at first, it was or it is kind of overwhelming because it is a lot. And it's just like you're in a new city, new school, everything's new, and you're trying to, I don't know, you get used to everything, and then all the career things come, and you kind of get pressure to like apply to jobs. But I think it's really good because you get exposed to so many like companies, industries, just everything. But the thing that's very important, you need to make use of it. So Esade offers you so many things, but you need to use it and honestly like use it because it is really helpful. It helps you to network a lot. And I mean, we all know networking is like the most important thing to land a job. If you have a contact in a company and you apply to that company, honestly, like it's so much easier to land that job. So it might be overwhelming, but like if you use it, if you make use of it, it's really, really good. And like the first thing I told my dad, I was like, oh shit, they're pushing us so much to like network, which in my previous university, when I did my bachelor's, they didn't do that at all. Like they didn't care at all. So here, like to see the difference is really interesting, and I really appreciate that. Yeah.
And our curriculum is also very approachable, right? Because they do organize these drop-in moments where you can go just and meet them if you have an idea or you want to be connected. So they're very, very approachable, I would say. And also, I mean, it's also an advantage to know that they're really specialized in their sector. So if you say, okay, look, I'm interested in this company, or of course, they also have they work a lot on building relationships and keeping in contact with alumni that we have around the world, because at the end they are the first connection with companies, right? So yeah, I mean, yeah. And Mario, what about you? Because you've been well, you're currently working. Did Esade help you with any of, well, internships or experience that you had so far, and in what way?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, indirectly answering your question, the biggest thing for me was that Esade is the target uni, meaning that the MBBs, in all the good investment banks, they want Esade graduates, right? Because that was, before I applied, was a big thing. Oh, if I go to Spain, do they think I only do siestas and then get a degree? And it's not that case. They know it's a serious uni where you get a good degree, so you're actually wanted from good companies. I think that was the biggest thing for me when it comes to careers. And then more specifically, yeah, the career team helped a lot, especially when it came to interview prep. Because when they know you have an interview lined up in next week, they kind of try to help you out as much as you can with doing a fit interview with you, doing a case interview, doing whatever else you need.
Yeah.
I think that's quite cool. But I think also the students help a lot because you're on the same boat. So I think it's quite nice that everybody has to apply and you kind of support each other, which is also quite a good support system to mention.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. So I still have a lot of questions, but I think we should we should give the microphone to our candidates that are here. So I would like to invite you to to switch on your cameras again if you switch them off, and ask your questions, please. So who wants to go first?
Otherwise, I can start.
Yes,
Everyone, I'm Timur, currently living in Basel and finishing my studies at HSG. And Mario, you were talking about being president at Start. We also have started our uni, and now I was wondering, did you become president or applied for being in that position before coming to Esade, or did you do it during your studies?
Yeah, I applied before coming. I also know the current president, if that helps you. No, no, but obviously I know St. Colin is you were the founders of Start. So quite cool. And we actually went to St. Colin as well for the Start Summit. It was very cool as well. But I applied for it before.
Okay, thank you. Good to know, because yeah, I guess it's quite important when you want to be involved in some sort of extracurricular activity to think about it before and then also act before being there. So yeah, thank you for this insight, Mario.
Yeah, sure.
I maybe have a question regarding the admission process more. First of all, thank you all for sharing your insight. I think it's very helpful when everything you told us, like how basically the uni life is. But yeah, currently I'm in the admission process and I'll be doing the admission test next week. And a lot of you said, or I think, yeah, I don't know how many of you said that you didn't do the GMAT, but you did the Esade admission test. I saw on the website that like the only resources that you get is like GMAT preparation is helpful, but like not any concrete information about the test. So I want to ask you, like, is it like just general, like how much did you prepare for it? Is it really similar to GMAT, or are there like other differences to GMAT?
Okay, I'm just gonna say one thing, and then I'm gonna leave it up to our students to go into the preparation time and so on. So, well, the Esade test is very similar to the GMAT. So we recommend to study with the GMAT materials, right? You will see it's a 100-minute test, and there is a quantitative part, an information sufficiency part, verbal part, like the GMAT, right? I would say that maybe I cannot say that, but I would say that it could be slightly easier than the GMAT because it is not adaptive and you can use a calculator. So so you can book the test once you submit your application, so you know that. So if you studied in English and your bachelor is in English, then we do not require an English certificate, right? But in case you don't have it and you still have to get an English certificate, then you can also do the English test together with the Esade test. So it will be longer. I think it's another hour or so, or an hour and a half. And then you can include the English test in the Esade test, right? So this is an option. You just have to let us know if you're interested in that, right? And then regarding the preparation, I don't know, I don't remember who of our students did the Esade test and would like to share a little bit more about the preparation.
I think I can share because I did both. I don't remember if I sent my GMAT score to Esade. Maybe I sent it to another school, but I did both of them. And I definitely recommend you to do admission test if like you don't want to do GMAT. GMAT is not fun. And I would be honest, like after studying for GMAT for like quite a long time, Esade admission test was like super easy. I mean maybe just because I was studying for GMAT a lot, so it's very similar. But the worst part about GMAT is adaptive. Like it's getting harder, and Esade test doesn't have that option. So you just have questions of the same level. And if about preparation, I would say just try to do like GMAT mock test. But it's I think GMAT is like 3 hours, and Esade was like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. I don't remember exactly. So you're not getting like overwhelmed like for such a long time. But my advice would be just like, don't study too much, but just try to like to remember some basic concepts from school, from math. Just try to do some GMAT examples and try to do like a mock GMAT. And I think that will be enough if you have good English and some basic knowledge of math.
Yeah, so
Okay,
the,
great, thank you.
the SATA test is 100 minutes long. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Any other? Yeah, I think Mari.
when we're on the topic of the GMAT, I wanted to ask if there's like a minimum score that's needed to get accepted.
So we don't work with minimum scores, first of all. What I can say is that our average GMAT score, and that's for all the programs, right? In the standard GMAT calculation from last year, because we didn't have all our students yet doing the focus, because it started, well, the first couple of months, we also had some. So we're still, what I want to say, we're still taking the reference of the standard GMAT, where we have an average score of 670. Okay. Now, it of course depends on your profile, because it's an holistic evaluation that we do. But you do need to know that for the Master in Finance and the Master in International Management, we are going to be stricter regarding the test score because of the quantitative part, right? Which is also going to be important in both programs. Now, that doesn't mean that you can have a 620 standard GMAT if on top of that you have an interesting internship experience, you have a good international exposure, it will balance, right? But I would say if you want to have like a score to work to, I would say, of course, depending on the program, but if you want to apply for the finance and international management, try to get a 650, 660 standard GMAT.
Okay,
right?
thank you.
Yeah.
I have another question.
Yes, go ahead.
I wanted to ask if any of you guys worked while studying, like a part-time job, or was it just full-time studying?
So what I'm doing, I'm freelancing in social media, which, I mean, I'm really flexible in terms of time. I can do it whenever I want. So it does work, but in general, I don't know anyone that works. And I mean, freelancing is, yeah, it's not, is it work? Yeah, it is kind of work, but it's not, it's not really work. You can do whatever you want in the end or whenever you want. So I wouldn't like apply to a job, because in the end, you also want to enjoy your experience here. And like, it's only 1 year, and trust me, 1 year flies by so quickly. Like, we're already November, December, and then vacation, and then the study tours for 1 month, like whole January, and then in February it starts again, and so quickly you're done. So don't work. Use this year to like make connections. Enjoy your year here in Barcelona. Yeah, money comes after.
Yeah, I would also say take the most out of it, because as Chiara said, it's going to go so fast. And I would say take advantage of joining more clubs, or yeah, I mean, working, concentrating, dedicating more time on the projects that will give you also exposure to companies. Working on your end project, networking, right, for career activities, because that's going to be also quite intense, the time that you're going to be dedicating to careers. So I would say give priority to that, and then knowing that at the end of the program you can still do an internship, right? And I really recommend to do an internship. And so there again, yeah, if you say I want to work because of having of earning some money, knowing that the internship, I mean, most of the internships, you will earn, right, for that. But that's, of course, that's going to be at the end of the program. Yeah.
Just one question about that. Like if we end up deciding to go for a job anyways, how would get visa for Spain? I know that you have to get like the NEA to work there, school that, or would you to get the working visa?
Okay, Carmen, I didn't really understand everything, but I think I got your question. So
Maybe my connection was not ideal. I'm sorry.
no,
I can
you're
repeat.
fine. You're fine. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Just to make sure that I got it right.
Okay. No, I was just wondering, like, if we end up going ahead with actually finding a job, would Esade help with getting the working visa? Because I know that you have to get the NEA to be able to work in Spain, and then coming from Switzerland, like, part of the EU, so I think it's a bit more complicated. And I was just wondering how it would work, like if this would assist us in.
Yes. So, and there again, I do, if you're interested in that, I have a presentation that was sent to me by our student advisor, because they are helping with all the visa issues. And there is a large and every year new types of visas that I didn't mention it here, but I can send it to you. So there are different types of visas that you can apply for. So there's the one looking for a job, there's an entrepreneurship visa, there's a digital nomad visa, there's a digital nomad visa. There's also now, like, it's called a blue card visa. So there are different options. And of course, I mean, Esade is going to help you with that. And also when you're going to be applying for companies, they're going to also direct you to the companies that are sponsoring a visa, for example. So it's going to be like together with the career service and with the student advisor, both of them are going to be helping you with this visa. And there are quite a lot of options available from different visas that you can check out. If you want, I can send you that presentation if you're interested in that.
Thank you very much. That would be very helpful.
Yeah. Okay, I'll write it. Okay, I think we have time for one more question. Who wants to go next? No more questions? No? Well, then maybe just to finish, do you have a question, Carmen? I thought you were thinking, no? Okay, I thought you were.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking maybe like one last advice, like what's your biggest advice, like when you like start the semester, the very beginning, like what's your biggest advice to make friends at the beginning?
To make friends?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that I think that all our students, alumni can answer that. Who wants to go first here?
I can go. I think depending if you're doing SEMS or not, but I know with SEMS we had a lot of activities, and I would recommend like just join them as much as possible. I know the first few weeks can be a bit overwhelming because you're meeting so many people and you're in a new country and you're settling in. But it's really the moment where you get to, I mean, you'll have the occasion to meet people throughout the semester, throughout the year. But I think the first few weeks are really crucial in terms of really bonding with the people. So just try to join the activities because you're not going to have to do much by yourself. I think Esade and like just the students by themselves are going to organize a lot of activities. So just try to join as much as possible and participate, and you're going to meet people. I think no one has not made friends at Esade. It's really easy to get to know people, and they're also open. So you shouldn't worry about this. It's just a matter of getting out there and doing it. So.
Okay, that's great to hear.
Yeah, you shouldn't
so
be
my
worried about
advice
that
would
at
be,
all.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, Luisa?
No, I just wanted to say, just be open. For me, I was kind of scared about it. I mean, I started to vote, but since, I mean, like every time, like it's new country, like, by yourself, and I was kind of scared before coming. Maybe it was a bit more helpful for me because I did VAP. But I would say I was kind of scared, like to come to people and just like say hi, but it's I actually never did it by myself. So like you just don't need to do anything. Like there are like a lot of people who are coming to you just like to meet you, say hi. And I mean, it's very easy. Even if you don't want to, like someone will come to you all the time. You will always have someone to talk with. So I would say even if you are not trying, it's like impossible to be just by yourself.
Thank you, Luisa. I think
Yeah, maybe
Mario
one.
Mario.
Yeah, maybe one concrete tip: choose your flatmates wisely. I would say don't choose German-speaking people, no Swiss people, and not from the same master, because then you get invited to parties from different masters. Because I had a Mia and a MIBA flatmate, and then your biggest problem is literally, should I go to the MIBA home party on Friday, or should I go to the marketing home party on Friday, or should I go to the club that everybody else is going? So in
It's a
terms of
big
making
problem,
friends,
Mario, choosing the right
I was
party.
struggling. Yeah, I've never had those problems. No, and I would say it's really cool because I think my best friends now are from Esade. And just an example, I met some to go to Croatia, 10 people from finance, and then my two best friends, my flatmates, I went to Sicily this summer. So I would really say you build long-lasting friendships there.
Yeah, and also regarding the housing, what you just said, choose peers from other programs, which of course makes it very interesting to also have this input and know what's going on in other programs, and also get, I mean, also knowledge-wise, right? Other input, and the way it works, maybe very last, maybe Luisa and Chiara can tell a bit more about that. But every year, tell me if I'm mistaken, our students, we create from the admission site, we create a WhatsApp group. So that's almost every year it's going to be done in March or in April, so that our incoming students start to connect with each other, start to get to know each other. And then they also, at some point, they create like an Excel sheet where everybody can put his or her name with preferences, like, oh, I only want to share an apartment with guys, or only with girls, or I prefer in this neighborhood, or I want to have parties in the house, I don't want to have parties in the house, all those things. And then you just start communicating with each other. There might be one of the students that is in Barcelona says, oh, look, I got a lease for an apartment, I have 4 rooms, who wants to join? And then based on this Excel sheet, you're going to be interacting with each other, and yeah. So that's the way it normally works. I don't know, Luisa and Chiara, how did you find your housemates? Yeah, let's call it.
So actually, yes, I found my roommate by using that Excel sheet, which was created, I don't know, by admission team or by some students, I think, admission team. And you have a lot of people on the list. You can contact like whatever person you want. And actually, I would say you can use it like if you're scared to come to Barcelona and be alone here, like the first days at school, you actually can meet a lot of people like before coming to school, because you have their contacts, because you have, I don't know, their Instagram. I mean, for me, it was easier because I texted some people, they texted me. So we actually know each other before starting school. So it was like easier when you know some people before coming. So it's very, I would say it's very easy, like to find not only housemates, flatmates, but also like people before starting your master.
Hey, thank
Yeah,
you.
honestly, I can agree. I did the same. Like, maybe I'm kind of lucky that I have a friend from Switzerland. He's also doing the MIA with me. So we decided to live together, and then we didn't want to like just be the two of us. So we texted in a group chat and we're like, hey, we're looking for 2 other flatmates. And then we also looked, like Mario said, for people that didn't study the same thing. Because honestly, this is a really, really big tip. Don't live with people that study the same thing as you do. Because again, like you get invited to so many parties and anything.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you to all of you. Well, thank you, Chiara, Luisa, Elsa, and Mario for being here. I just want to share for one more minute my screen, because I want to tell you about some upcoming events and travel that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be in Switzerland next week. I'm going to be in Zurich on the 5th and the 6th, and then Geneva the 7th and the 8th. So in case you want to have a follow-up meeting or you want to meet me to talk more specifically about your profile, if you haven't scheduled a session yet, please reach out to me. You're going to see my WhatsApp number at the end, or just send me an email. You all have my email. So I still have some slots available in both cities. And then, of course, on the 25th and 26th, it's my colleague Judith who's going to be traveling to Zurich. So if you can't make it next week, then you can also meet her if you want, or we can have, of course, always an online session. So you can also book that. You can let me know. And then, as I said at the beginning, I really, really recommend, if you have the chance to come to Barcelona, to sit in class, to meet students, to interact with them, and get experience, what Esade is about. So here you have my WhatsApp number, you have my email, so feel free to reach out to me. I'm also looking forward to meeting you, and hopefully also holding the interview with you. And if you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks for being here. And then I really wish you a really lovely evening, and hope to hear from you very soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you as well.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot.
So much.
Bye, everybody.